Gulturo Hurrah was a fierce and triumphant warrior who fought beside the beast during the Age of War. He was most known for his brutality in the Battle of York, when he mercilessly pushed his armies from the shore of Dolores to the burrows of Moor. It was one of the greatest victories of the Kingdom of Rey, because it was a battle that lasted only a single day. With 66 soldiers, he laid waste to nearly 1,000 men, without even a single death of his own kin. To many of his era, he was known as the avatar of Leviathan, the destroyer of legions, and the bringer of the end. To those who witnessed him in battle, he was a monstrous man with massive hands. His crimson eyes burned behind a boar-shaped mask that radiated madness and terror. He wielded an ashen axe made from the bone of an ancient demon that glowed with the woe of every soldier it had slain. Facing Gulturo in battle often made men sad and afraid, because it meant today would be their final day. Gulturo did not die peacefully or in his sleep. He lost his life when he was sliced open while eating. He was betrayed by the man who was supposed to be his right hand, the night before the beast slayed Sam, the maddest god of the land. This did not settle well with Gulturo's spirit. Though he was welcomed into heaven with open arms, his soul could not rest until he settled his vengeance with his once best friend. He turned away from the pearly gates and became the horrific form of his anger and pain. It was this day chains fell from his gate, and darkness shrouded his face. As a parting gift, the guardian of heaven awarded him the name Organ Grinder. He returned to his betrayer and raised the sharpened edge of his axe above his head as he ate. With a roar, he dropped his axe into his once best friend's eye and watched him die. This was not enough for Gulturo, for he knew his betrayer could stroll away into a place of peace and serenity. He did not want his pain to end this day, and an anger welled up within the place that once held his heart. He wanted him to burn, beg, and plead for mercy. He wanted his mind to cry and whine until the end of time. In his state of fury and madness, the chains that dangled from his gate shifted and moved. They slowly slithered like snakes, twisting and curling every which way. A strange energy pulsed from his betrayer's body, followed by a divine white light that radiated from his heart and eyes. As Gulturo watched with anger and awe, the chains began to thrash and gnash with hunger and hatred. He could feel them because they were now a part of him, and they were starving. They needed to eat just as much as he needed vengeance. Through an amalgam of their hunger and his rage, the chains lashed out towards the object of his anger. Barbs and hooks splayed from the end of each chain, sinking into the incorporeal flesh of the spirit attempting to pass into the next plane. Afraid and screaming out in pain, the betrayer struggled against the weight and strength of Gulturo's metallic rage. Within a second of holding him in place, the divine light dissipated, and his betrayer's access to the pearly gates faded. Gulturo smiled. He had gotten his way. Now his betrayer would be his eternal slave until the end of days.